How to enter an order in AS400. The screen you will need to go to is SO30. So you're going to go ahead and hit F7 on your function keys. Enter SO30 in your perform function and hit enter. Now you must know the customer's account number in order to begin entering an order. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use T14968. I'm going to hit enter. Now, in some situations, some customers do have pop-up notes. This window will pop up out at you with the list of notes that are extremely important for you to read through. This will provide you special instructions on how to process the orders. So it's important that you read through all of these notes. At the bottom right of that small window, you will see the word bottom or more. If you see more, that means you can page down and view more notes. If it says bottom, then you're viewing all the notes listed for the account. It's extremely important that you read through all of them and note down any important things that you need to be aware of when processing the order so that you don't forget. Hit enter and it'll take you into the first page of the order entry. The first line will provide you the company name of our customer. You must verify that information in order to know that you have the correct account. Do not provide them the name. Ask them to provide it to you. So as you notice, I am using a trainee account. So I verified that it is the correct account, and now I'm going to ask the customer to provide me the shipping information. The first line is the name of the person we're shipping to or the company name. So if they're providing you a company name, that's what needs to be listed here, okay? So in this case, the customer has provided us ABC Company as the company name. Now, there is a key on your 10 keypad, which is the enter key. You will hit that key and it serves as a field exit, which in other words is a delete button. It will delete everything in front of your cursor. So instead of going backwards, it goes forward and takes you to the next field. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that key now. You see how it removes all the information and takes me to the next line? You want to make sure you do that so that it clears all the unnecessary information from the ship to lines. Now you're in the first address line. This line serves as the attention to line, or customer PO. The customer PO reference for ABC Company, not our customer, okay? So if a customer has a customer PO number they want us to reference, it's important to list it here. Then you want to go ahead and tab to the second line, and this is where you're going to type in the street address. If a customer does not provide you a suite number, always double check by asking them, is there a suite number or apartment number I should be referencing? This is important because some customers tend to forget that minor detail, and then by you asking them, you remind them. Okay? The third line should be left blank. Then you enter the city, state, and zip code. Now, our system has all of the different zip codes associated for all the different cities and states. So you do not need to type in the city or the state, only the zip code. Okay? The next couple of fields, which is this section here, should be left alone and should not be changed or deleted. They should be left alone. If a customer is asking for a confirmation, or if it's a phone order, you must ask the customer, would you like a confirmation of this order? Once completed, if they say yes, you must enter their email address here, okay? I'm going to use my email address as an example. Okay, you must read back this information to the customer in order to make sure that you got the correct spelling. So when you read it back, you want to make sure you're spelling the email address back to them. But when you're doing this information, just read it back to them to ensure that you have everything accurate. This information here, once again, should not be changed or deleted. It should be left alone. Once you've entered the email address, you are now okay to hit enter, and it takes you over to the next screen. Now, you are going to go ahead and hit enter one more time. What this does is that it takes your cursor to the first field that you must fill in, okay? You must tell the system what type of order this is. Is it an SO, an SP, an RO? You have to determine what that is. For the most part, you're going to be entering a lot of sales orders, so it's going to be an SO. This is just a regular order, okay? Then you're going to tab down to the order source. You have to enter the code for how you're receiving the order. So if it's by phone, you're gonna put a P for phone. If it's something from our fax viewer, you're gonna put an F. If it's an inbox, now you are not to enter any orders from an inbox unless you have been instructed by a regular staff member. The other type of order that you'll possibly be entering is a mailed order, okay? For mail order, you're going to put an M. So let's say you forgot all these codes. It's perfectly okay. By hitting your F4 prompt key, it will display all the different codes available, okay? To select one, just put your arrow key to the one you want to select, hit enter, and it auto fills that information, okay? So this is a phone order, so I'm going to go ahead and enter the letter P, and then I'm going to go tab down to the carrier in VIA. Now, our system will default to UPS. That is our preferred carrier. Now, if a customer is requesting to ship FedEx, it's important that we enter the appropriate codes for FedEx, whichever method that is. You do have a poster board in your cubicle that will provide you all the different codes for the different methods we offer. Now, you also have the option to putting your cursor on that field and hitting F4, and it will display the different codes we have available. You see the word more at the bottom right corner? That means you can page down and view more codes. Once you've selected the one that you want to use, you just put your cursor on that first letter and hit enter. Now, this customer doesn't specify what carrier they want. They just want it to go UPS. Now, our system will default to UPS ground. If they want UPS second day, next day, you must enter the appropriate codes. Okay. Once you've entered that information, so in this situation, the customer just wants UPS ground. So I'm going to leave those blanks because I know that the system will default to UPS ground. The next field is the PO number. This is our customer's purchase order number. So then you want to ask the customer, what is your PO number? Okay. They will provide you a number. If they give you dashes, please enter the dashes. You must enter the purchase order number exactly the way they provide it to you, with dashes, beginning zeros, and all. You should not use spaces. That's the only thing that you should not use. No spaces should be entered into a PO number. The next line here is the ship account. Okay, you are not to ask a customer what their shipping account is. This field is open only if the customer has requested it. Now, for TFP customers, we only do third-party FedEx. We do not do UPS third-party unless their CM19 notes have told us they're allowed to. For Apex, they can ship third-party UPS or FedEx. If you're not 100% sure, always ask one of the regular staff members and they will confirm with you. Now, once again, this is not a field that you ask a customer for information. So if the customer has not already volunteered that to you, you want to go ahead and skip to the next line. For all phone orders, it is important that you get the name of the person placing the order and the phone number they can be reached at. You must ask for this information because if we have any questions on the order, we need to be able to contact the person directly who placed the order, because only they will be able to answer the questions we have. So For all phone orders, you're going to enter the name and the phone number in the ship instructions. So you're going to ask the customer for their name. In this case, it's Maria. Sorry. No spaces. Maria. And you're going to ask them for a phone number that can be contacted in case we have any questions. So you're going to go ahead and type in the phone number they provide you. Okay. Just like that. It is extremely important you do not forget to add this information to that line. If you fail to add the phone number for the contact who placed the order, if the credit department needs to reach them or we need to reach them for any questions on the order, we will ask you to locate the customer's information to be able to contact them. Then you tab over to the ship from. This is where you're going to enter the warehouse code that you're going to ship from. Now, California orders, of course, they're going to ship from our California, unless they're ordering HR product. If they're ordering HR product, you know that that only comes out of warehouse 06. So you must enter 06 if they're ordering HR. But if they're ordering tax healthcare product, then you want to enter 01. You also have a listing on your poster board in your cubicle that will provide you all the appropriate warehouses for all the different states. Okay. You're going to go ahead and hit enter. And then you're going to go ahead and hit F6. F6 will take you to the line items where you're going to go ahead and begin to enter your items and quantities the customer wants to order. Okay. Now, before we proceed to that page, I do want to cover a couple of reminders. Do you see this section here? If you do not see an order number listed here, do not hit F12. That means this information has not been saved in the system. If you hit F12, you will lose all the information you've listed here if there's no order listed here. Now, once an order number has been generated, like it's shown now, you are able to hit F12 and it will stop you. That means the information has been saved already. So it wants to make sure, are you sure you want to exit? You want to hit N for no, then it leaves you in the order. But if you were to have done that, hit F12 before the number generated, you would have lost all the information you have listed here. Now, why would you have tried to hit F12? Well, let's pretend that you've entered some information incorrectly in the ship to address and you need to get back in here. You do not hit F12, okay? There's a special function key where you have to go to edit ship to. Now, you must read through all your function keys, okay? If you do not see something that matches what you're trying to do, hit F24 for more keys. Let's see, cancel an order, previous screen, sync, edit ship to address, F15. You hit F15 and it takes you back into this box and makes the necessary changes. Now, when you're making changes, it is important that you hit enter and not F12, okay? When you hit enter, it saves the information. Now, let's see, F15. So let's say I didn't hit enter and I hit F12. So I hit F12. Do you see how the suite number is still listed there even though I deleted it? That's why it's important for you to hit enter when you're trying to save information, okay? Now, in some cases, customers will request ship in the name of, okay? That means they want us to list a different company name as the bill to, okay? That is when you select F16 to edit bill to address. Hit F16, it will take you to the change bill to address window. This is where you're gonna be able to put that ship in the name of name. Now, if you notice, you only have a line at the top where it says the company name. All the other information you are not able to edit. So the only thing that you can change is the name. So this is where you're going to put in ship in the name of the customer provided. Of course, you're not going to put ship in the name of, you're going to actually put, for example, let's say the customer is saying ship in the name of Greg Williams. Okay. So that's how you enter it. You hit enter and now you made that change. So how do you view the bill to information to make sure that it's saved? Go back to your F24 key, F24, and you see here F2, bill to? You hit F2 and it changes back and forth between the ship to and the bill to. Okay? So now that we made those changes, we're ready to now enter the items. So we're going to go ahead and F6. Okay? We're now in the item line screen. This is where we're going to go ahead and enter the items and the quantities the customer has provided. So the customer is ordering 5110, quantity 500. Okay. 5111, quantity 250. Wait, what is this? When you are entering incorrect quantities or incorrect information, our system will create different pop-ups to help you stop from making a mistake. So it is important that you read these pop-ups, and if you do not understand them, please ask one of the regular staff members to help you with it. Do not proceed and say yes to something you do not understand. That will create issues and orders shipping incorrectly. So this message here, quantity not multi of multi-number, what that translates to is that you're entering the wrong quantity. So I'm going to go ahead and select N for no, and it'll highlight the quantity. And if you notice at the bottom of your screen, it will tell you what the problem is. Quantity should be in multiples of 100. So customers cannot order 250. They must order 300. So you must inform the customer that they must order in increments of 100. Then you can correct the quantity and proceed to entering. Now, the customer is also ordering 77771, which is an envelope, and they want a quantity of 150. You hit enter. Now, for envelopes, we do not pre-package them. They can ship, they can order in any quantity they want, and we package it accordingly. Now, if you notice, I entered one item, yet another item appeared on my screen. This is what we call ad hoc. So in our system, to make it easier for our shipping department to ship product faster and more efficient, we have pre-packaged our envelopes in quantities of 25 and 50 or 100. So depending on what quantity we enter here, it will generate a pre-packaged set here. We will bill the customer at the main item, but not in the component. Okay? Now, I did just say that we do not pre-package envelopes and customers can order in any quantity. Now, what I meant to say is we do not sell to customers pre-packaged envelopes. So they have the liberty of ordering 151. Now, if the customer is ordering 151, it's not going to evenly ad hoc. They will end up getting more product than what they're actually paying, and that's okay. Now, it is important that when you're correcting quantities, now let's say that you accidentally keyed the wrong quantity. The customer wanted 250 instead of 150. You must delete the quantity so that the item itself gets deleted. You do not override the quantity. You do not do this. You must rekey the item, okay? 77771, quantity 250. And I'm going to show you why. The reason you do not override this quantity, look what happens. Let's say they wanted 300. Hit enter. This quantity did not get updated. So if you multiply 5 times 50, it's going to give you 250 envelopes. So we charging them for 300, yet only shipping 250. So that will be incorrect. You do not want to override the quantity to correct a key mistake. Okay. You want to delete the quantity so that the whole item is removed, and then rekey it for the correct amount so that it ad hocs to the correct quantity. If there's any questions or concerns, or you do not fully understand how this works, please see one of your regular staff members and they will be glad to help you. Okay? Now, once I've entered all of the items and the quantities the customer has provided, you want to read back the items and the quantities back to the customer. If this is a fax order, you want to make sure you're validating and checking what is on the actual PO. Okay? Once you've validated the information with the customer, you can then proceed to the next screen. That is the order summary, F6. In the order summary, of course, it summarizes the totals. Now, this screen also provides you estimated shipping cost. So if the customer is asking what their shipping cost is going to be, this is the cost that you provide them. Okay? It also provides you with the weight. Okay? And the subtotal. Now, this total here does not include the freight. If it included freight, it would be listed here. But because it's 0, it still hasn't been added. The freight is added at the point the order has been shipped. Okay? Once you finalize and double check the carrier, this is your final time to review and make sure that you've entered the correct carrier codes for how the customer wants the order to be shipped. The customer wants UPS ground. That is what you see on your screen. You are now ready to finalize the order. Now, for phone orders, it is extremely important that you not finalize the order until the customer has disconnected the line. I've learned in the many years that I've been working here, customers tend to last minute say, oh, wait, I forgot to add another item. And if you've already finalized it, it will complicate things on how to fix that issue. So, before disconnecting the call, you want to provide the customer with their order confirmation number, which is listed up here on the top. You want to tell them their order confirmation is 6703172. Is there anything else I can help you with? Once the customer says no, thank you, you disconnect the line, and once they have hung up, you can then hit F13 to accept your order. Now, for some accounts, we do have a brief message. It tells you must verify that the total PO cost matches the total system cost. Now, this message here is intended for orders that you're processing from the fax viewer. Of course, there's no cost for you to verify when it's a phone order. So then all you have to do is hit enter to continue, and it'll take you to the sales order information. Now here, you must confirm that both of these match. The ship warehouse code must be the same as the bill warehouse code. Then finally, your DP processor code. So you should have been provided with a 3 or 2 character processor code. This is where you're going to enter it, hit enter, then F12. Once you do that, it will take you back to the beginning, and then at the bottom, we'll give you a message saying 6703172 has been sent for processing, and you know your order has been submitted. And that is how you enter a sales order.